Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video is part 4 of the series. I thought part 3 is gonna be the final one, but I remember more things that happened in elementary school considering I was there for like 7 years. I might even make a part 5, to be honest. If I remember even more stuff that happened in elementary school, I will make a part 5. I might, after this video, I might make a middle school series, so if you guys are interested in that, make sure to like and subscribe. As I mentioned in a few of my previous story videos, I mentioned that I was quite a tiny child, to say the least. Basically, I was average height, and I was pretty skinny. And there was this one time, there was these kids showing off how skinny they were. And I don't really understood why they were doing that. But, you know, I thought since I was a skinny fella, I could win that skinny contest or whatever. So, I walk in and I'm like, what are y'all doing? And it's like, bro, we're showing off how skinny we are. And I'm like, I'm pretty skinny. And it's like, show it then. So I pull up my shirt. And then they look at it for a hot minute. And then they're like, bro, stop blowing in. Because like when you blow in, your stomach becomes a little bit slimmer. So they thought I was blowing in. I'm like, I'm not even blowing in. It's like, stop lying. Then I did blow in. And then they realized I got skinnier. And then they were shocked. Because they haven't seen someone that skinny before. And I easily won that contest. Fair and square. Bozo plus ratio. Continuing the trend of being average height in elementary school, in 5th grade, I believe it was actually pretty early on in the year, or like near the middle of the year, they wanted us to prepare for middle school. So what we did was that they gave us lockers. We had lockers in elementary school, except these blocks that they gave us didn't have locks. It was only for 5th grade, and there's really no point of it. A locker without a lock is just a cubby with a door, if you really think about it. And it wasn't those tall lockers that some schools have. I had a locker. No, these lockers were those tiny lockers. Except usually when they have the tiny lockers, they have one on top of the other, and that's it. But for some reason, they stacked 3 lockers. So there's one at the bottom, a middle locker, and a top locker. And I conveniently got the top locker when I'm average heights at the time. So I had to always get on my tippy toes to actually access it, which wasn't really efficient considering we went there every time to grab a notebook or a pencil and whatever. So I asked for a lower locker, and my teacher was like, sure, because the bottom row, no one had any for some reason. I think they were going by alphabetical last name. And I got a lower locker, and I put my stuff in there, and it was pretty neat. But she never, told me to not use my other locker. So I just had a blank locker that I would store random stuff. And it was pretty funny when people would see me use 2 lockers, because they would question everything in elementary school. It was pretty cool. I still didn't really understand it because that's when COVID happened, so the year got cut in half and I had 6th grade virtually. Really no point. If you guys have watched my previous videos about elementary school stories, you guys should know that in 3rd grade I moved schools for a year, then sort of came back later. And if you haven't watched those videos, you should definitely watch them. I'll link them in the description. I also have a playlist that you guys can watch the other videos. But in this time, when I was in 3rd grade, I was in a new classroom. I was in a whole different county from the previous school I was in. And when I was looking around the classroom, I realized that one kid stuck out to me specifically. Reason being, they looked identical to another classmate I had in my old elementary school. They straight up looked copied and pasted from another kid from the school I used to go. And they weren't the same kid. I know they weren't the same kid because they had a whole different personality and a whole different name, yet they just looked the same. I didn't even know that was possible. And I remember at the time, I think I saw a video that was saying, in the world there's people that look the same as someone else, and there's up to 7 that look the same as you. And I didn't believe that. I was in 3rd grade, and I knew that sounded so fake. Like it couldn't be real. But when I saw this person, I knew it probably, that made me believe it. I really believe it now, to be honest. Because I think also like 3 years ago, I also saw someone that looked identical to someone else in person, but it wasn't in school, so I'm not gonna tell y'all about it. And the weird part is, like, actually not weird. What I could do is ask the person at my school if they have any siblings, because they go to my school. And if they say yes, there might be a chance that they got swapped in the hospital. Probably. It's weird. It's really trippy. If they got swapped in the hospital, then that might be a legal issue. But, you know, crazy things happen in this crazy world. Now enough with these crazy conspiracies. Let's move on to other random things that happened at my school. There's a few weird kids at schools. You know, every school has weird kids, if you want to say they're weird in different terms, depending what you consider weird. We all have different tastes or something. What I think is weird is people that pull their pants all the way down when they're trying to use the urinal. I do not understand those kids.
Like, one time when I was in 5th grade, I really urgently had to go to the bathroom. So I wasn't trying to deal with no shenanigans. So when I opened up the bathroom door, the first thing I see is me getting flashed with a 2nd grader butt booty naked. He was just peeing, and the worst part, while I was in there, he decided to stare at me while he was peeing, butt booty naked. And it was so weird.
And for some reason, they were peeing for like a hot minute there. I'm sorry to tell you guys that it was just so random. Who does that? No one does that. On to something less stupid. In 5th grade, I was in PE, and this time in PE, it was near the end of class where we were finishing our exercising session. So what we had to do was get up and start walking or running or galloping or whatever they put us to do. And at one point, they put us to run. We had to run around the gym. Pretty straightforward. And I just started running. A lot of kids got tired really quickly after just running for like 10 seconds, which is me now, which is a bit crazy. But at the time, I was running so coolly. I was just running at a pretty good pace, and I wasn't getting tired. And my PE teacher saw the skill. I was cracked. He went on the microphone and said, "Look at Ulysses go!" And I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And I thought it was just something one day only. Next day comes, do the same thing, start running, and then once again, PE teacher goes, "Ulysses is running amazingly again," or whatever he said. And that felt pretty good again. And this kind of went on for like a week now. And one time he pulled me aside and he was like, "Hey, Ulysses, you should probably join the track team next year in middle school." And I actually thought about it for a second. I didn't think I was that good at running, but he really wanted me to join the track team in middle school. Except COVID came. You know, I was pretty decent. I didn't think I was that good, as they just said. Lunchtime. Occasionally, I think it's like every quarter, we did this. One of the PE teachers would come to the lunch and would just like go on the microphone and say, "Yo, go to the gym. We're doing the lost and found thingamajigs. Try to find your stuff if you lost anything, or check if you find something cool or something." And our gym was right across the hall from the cafeteria, so obviously I went because I lost a pair of pants at the time. I don't even know how I managed to lose a pair of pants. I just did. So I was there at the first thing I will hear when I walk in is, "Look, there's Ulysses, the best runner in the school." And I was like, what the heck? Because that's the first thing I walk into. And I think it was the toddlers, the pre-K, doing PE at the time. So they all looked at me, and I was like, I was like, yo, what's good? And then yeah, I just went did my lost and found things, and now every pre-K'er at the time thinks I was the goat. I was the goat. Well, that wraps it up for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and watch my other story times if you haven't already. I will link them in the description, hopefully. And there's a whole playlist if you want to watch them all in order. Part 1 is still very old. I was in 6th grade, I think, or 7th, like early 7th or something. That one's pretty bad. It's like this video, but like significantly worse. If you want to watch that. Well, appreciate you guys making it all the way here. Yeah, have a good day.